Picture this, 6:30 a.m. I'm dragging myself home from an all-night electrical job, still smelling like diesel and burnt copper, when this woman in $300 yoga pants shows up on my porch. She hands me an eviction notice. For my house, the one I own free and clear. 30 days to vacate, says Dolores Whitmore, tapping her fake nails against a clipboard like she's conducting an orchestra of stupidity. Nothing personal, sweetie. Then she hops into her shiny white Mercedes and drives off. Nothing personal? Lady, you just declared war. What Dolores didn't know was that I'd been quietly watching her for months, recording, documenting, and collecting every shady thing she'd done to me and my neighbors. And when I finally stepped into that courtroom, the judge's face said it all. But let me back up. The calm before the storm. I'm Mike Hanley, 52, electrician, blue collar to the bone, and freshly divorced from a woman who thought I wasn't country club material. When the dust settled, I bought myself a small 1970s ranch house in Maplewood Estates, a quiet neighborhood filled with working families. Life was peaceful. Kids played in the street. Entitlement, who moved in after her husband's construction company got nailed for fraud. Designer sneakers, bleach blonde hair that defied gravity, and a Mercedes with vanity plates reading. Gloves won. When drainage issues hit the neighborhood, Dolores volunteered to form the HOA. Nobody else wanted the headache, so boom, we had ourselves a dictator. The harassment begins. Within months, Mrs. Kim got fined for unauthorized lawn decorations. The Jenkins kids got written up for drawing hopscotch squares on the sidewalk. But me? I was her special project. A violation appeared on my door one morning. My cedar fence, built in 1973, was non-compliant. $150 fine. I confronted her that night. "Oh, hi, Mike," she said, pretending to be sweet. "That old fence doesn't meet current community standards." "What standards?" I asked. "Nobody voted on this. The board makes decisions for the community's benefit," she said, tapping her nails again. Translation: I make the rules now. I fought back. When she refused to budge, I drove to the county records office and pulled the original HOA covenants. There it was in black and white, all pre-existing. Structures were grandfathered in, legally protected. At the next HOA meeting, I laid out my evidence. "These violations are illegal," I told her. She barely looked up. "Those are technicalities. The clause expired." "Show me where it says that." "It's implied," she said. "Implied." The room went silent. Even the buzzing lights seemed embarrassed for her. She tried to play it off. But when she accidentally spilled coffee all over my documents, the mask slipped. Too bad for her. I'd made copies. The war escalates. Next came a new rule: no commercial vehicles parked. Overnight, my Ford Transit, with my business name Hanley Electric, suddenly violated community standards. Dolores had the nerve to boot my van in my own driveway. When the county sheriff, Deputy Morales, showed up, he laughed so hard I thought he'd cry. "Lady, booting a car on private property is theft," he said. "Take it off before I arrest you both." That's when I knew she wasn't just power-hungry. She was dangerous. The fake property scam. Weeks later, I got an envelope from Whitmore Property Group. Inside was a depreciation assessment claiming my house had reduced neighborhood value by $30,000. Signed by one Richard Whitmore, certified property evaluator. Problem: Richard wasn't certified in anything. State records showed he wasn't even licensed. Turns out Dolores had been harassing homeowners until they sold their houses cheap, then flipping those same homes through her real estate company at full price. A textbook racketeering scheme. I hired my old lawyer, Rebecca Flores, who confirmed it was extortion in a business suit. Then we brought in James Monroe, a legit appraiser, who proved my house had actually increased property values. Dolores's empire was starting to crack, exposing the crime. At the next HOA meeting, I dropped the bomb. "Your brother-in-law's report is fake," I said. "He's not licensed. And your company's been flipping properties you've forced people to sell." Her voice went up 3 octaves. "This community will not be held hostage by one selfish homeowner." "You mean one homeowner who won't be bullied?" I shot back. Neighbors started filming. Dolores's face turned redder than a fire hydrant. Later, Rebecca connected with Elena Garcia from the state attorney's office. White-collar crime division. Elena saw our evidence and said one word: "RICO." That's when things got really serious. The federal trap. We formed a war council at Murphy's Diner. Me, Rebecca, Elena, and Tom Avery, an investigative reporter from Channel 6. Elena's forensic accountant traced over $850,000 stolen from multiple HOA accounts through fake landscaping and snow removal companies, all linked to Dolores's family. We set the trap. I'd request a peace meeting to discuss selling my house. Dolores would show up smug and overconfident, her favorite state of being. Meanwhile, the FBI would be waiting in the crowd. The final showdown. The Maplewood Community Center was packed. Neighbors, cameras, and that familiar smell of floor cleaner. Dolores strutted in like a queen. At her coronation, Mr. Hanley has finally agreed to settle our dispute peacefully, she announced. I stood up, playing the part of a defeated man. You're right, Dolores, I said, pulling a folded document from my pocket. It's time to settle this once and for all. Then I read aloud. Dolores Whitmore, you are hereby served with a federal subpoena to appear before a grand jury investigating charges of mail fraud, wire fraud, embezzlement, and racketeering under the RICO Act. The room went dead silent. 2 FBI agents stepped forward, badges flashing. Dolores Whitmore, you're under arrest for conspiracy and embezzlement of HOA funds. Her jaw dropped. This is ridiculous. He's been harassing me for months. The reporter's mic swung toward her. Ms. Whitmore, how do you explain the missing $850,000 in HOA funds? Dolores sputtered. Those were business expenses. Ma'am, said Agent Garcia, you have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it. As they led her out in handcuffs, the entire room erupted in applause. 2 years of fear ended in one beautiful moment. The aftermath. 6 months later, justice was official. Dolores Whitmore pled guilty to 14 federal charges, received 5 years in prison, and was ordered to repay $2.1 million in restitution. Her family's fake companies got shut down, and her real estate license was revoked for life. The judge said it best. You turned community governance into organized crime. You preyed on working families. Justice demands consequence. My electrical license was reinstated, and the hospital district even gave me a raise for professional integrity under duress. Mrs. Kim became the new HOA president. Dues dropped from $120 to $35. No more fake fines. No more intimidation. Just potlucks, laughter, and kids playing hopscotch without fear. Property values soared once word got out that Maplewood Estates was finally corruption-free. A fresh start. The restitution money helped fund a homeowner protection fund, offering free legal aid to families facing HOA abuse. And the state legislature passed new laws, unofficially called Mike's Law, requiring proof of damages before HOAs can issue fines. As for me, life's finally quiet. I fixed my basement, upgraded my tools, and even got back together with my ex-wife Sarah, who told me, watching you fight for what's right made me remember why I loved you. We're taking it slow, rebuilding something stronger this time. Every morning, I drink my coffee on my porch, looking at the house I fought to keep, the house I own, and I smile because sometimes David really does beat Goliath. Moral of the story: document everything, know your rights, and never underestimate the power of one determined person backed by the truth. Dolores thought she could steal my home. Instead, she lost everything. Because when you stand your ground and keep the receipts, even the system listens.